Hello, my name is Kaitlin Studt, and I attend Seattle University. I'm currently a third-year student and a public affairs major and nonprofit leadership. I have a business management minor as well. Currently, I'll be reporting for work from King County, Seattle, Washington. I understand there are two internship sessions. However, I'm only available for June 17th through August. I can be available for other opportunities, but that will depend on my schedule, and I will need more information about what those opportunities are and it will entail first. Here's some things about myself. I'm originally from San Francisco Bay Area, California, and now as a student who is looking to settle down in the Seattle King County area. State and social services actually played a big role in my life. I was born with a pediatric baby stroke, which is rare and unexpected for this family. Although my family is fortunate to afford good health care, for California standards at least, they needed help finding the correct resource to support me, which is where the California Children's Services, or CCS, as they often call themselves, came in. The CCS staff were amazing and helped my family find the right therapists, the right people, and early intervention programs at public schools that could help me with my speech and motor skills. They were really helpful in finding the correct staff to help me do it. I credit my full mobility and experience to do well in college to my early intervention, the current elementary school teachers I had, and my family's ultimate love and support. From my experience, I know how important it is for a person to succeed in life. The mission of the DHSS is to transform lives. Perseverance, empathy, and curiosity are three traits I can bring. Overcoming my disabilities taught me to not give up, even when daily activities that other people take for granted are harder for me. Because of my right hand hemiparesis, sometimes opening a bottle can be hard. But I never let anything stop me as I grew up. I passed physical education like every other student in my school. I learned to ride a full-size horse of all different sizes, and even perform on stage in musical theater. Because I sometimes straddle between what we call the average world and the disabled world, I'm curious about how a person can feel welcome. This is why I helped start Seattle University's campus' first mental health peer support group, all led by students. We call ourselves the Infinity Space. We are a space safe for students who identify as neurodivergent to come together, get more peer resources, and just be able to support one another. In some ways, this Infinity Space is what we hope to work for in the larger Washington State community. Theater has been an important part of my life growing up, so I decided to use that as a way to create a space where differences are valued, understood, and supported. Theater is not always a diverse education system and is oftentimes aimed towards higher income families who oftentimes are white or have other kind of needs. However, I decided to create it into a safe space. I joined partnership with the San Carlos Children's Theater. We call ourselves SECT for short. Through SECT, I was able to connect with a local school called Arbor Bay, who serves students with disabilities and is able to help find them resources that they need at elementary school levels. However, this was during COVID, so the school was all online during this time. However, we were still able to partner with the school district and be able to create a workshop specifically for these students. The teachers were really appreciative that we took all the effort to come out and teach their classes. I also worked with a low-income needs school called Hoover School, which is more in the Redwood City School District. We were able to help bring an 8-week class to them and give them free other services. In fact, the partnership has been able to continue to grow to this day. Finally, we were able to feature a neurodivergent student who was interested in helping create a video for Diversity Week. I helped him direct and produce the video and, in fact, release it to the wider San Carlos School District. The school district staff appreciated me, and in fact, I received multiple emails from board members, teachers, and staff saying they would love to use this video in the future. I really felt that I was understood and that people were able to understand me better. In high school, I was still able to exceed my expectations when I started trying to audition for musicals. For musicals, I just assumed, oh, I'll sing in the chorus and just do choir in the background. However, I decided to up my game because there were no other options and decided to learn how to dance. I had to record my peers and film my choreographers if needed, and then I would practice on my own and learn how to do the choreography because every choreographer was right-handed, so I just learned how to adapt to right-handedness so I am not able to fall behind or crash into somebody. Of course, I was still in the back and certainly not the best, as I still oftentimes fell a couple of times during the shows. However, I proved myself if I believe I can, then I can. In a couple years, I hope to see myself somewhere in the world of human services. somewhere. From my classwork, I find myself leaning towards community outreach, which is oftentimes what public affairs students do. We specifically focus on biracial and the disabled community, as that has been the core of my research and will probably be my senior thesis. So I decided to create a job on the Student Events and Activities Council, where I'm able to create my opinion and as well create a larger events for a larger community. I made sure to create resources or order special spaces that were able to have different communities enter them. I was able to apply the learnings about the community-based research to the real world where I can understand these communities better by where they're at. From my classwork, I see myself leaning towards community outreach, as that's oftentimes what public affairs and nonprofit leadership majors have done in the past. I'm specifically able to relate to the biracial and disabled communities. I currently work as the Student Event and Activities Council programmer, and in fact, I learned the importance of program design and how I'm able to also get other resources like earplugs and other things like that for our larger events, which may be overstimulating, and we may not be able to provide a specific space room like we will for my event on Quadstock. So to do that, I managed to convince them to get earplugs just in case people couldn't find a safe space to go in any of our winter ball or our other dances. I was also able to apply my learnings to community-based research to the real world where I can understand the needs of communities by meeting them where they're at. I have two main learning objectives: to learn to local community in some manner and to further my interpersonal skills between staff and students that are needed through community outreach. I want to learn more about in-need communities, especially communities that may not be able to afford the resources I was able to afford, and how I'm able to help them through the Washington Disability Services Program, and learn how I'm able to help people discover and navigate free or affordable sources. Building trust with community is important, so I hope to gain more community schools and tools. I also heard about this internship opportunity from a Seattle University career fair.